The way we consume and share news today is largely rooted in social media outlets, a reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online. From the hottest issues to trends for our daily social media minute, we're joined by Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
Erica, have you ever played games?
Yeah, back in the day.
No. How many
Yeah.
identities do you really have?
No, I used to play a fair share, but this was a long time ago. I'm talking like 20 years ago.
I
But
feel,
no
yeah.
longer.
I'm not very good at games, which is why I've never really found myself attached to it. But I suppose
Uh-huh.
if you excel in esports, this topic is probably your cup of tea.
Oh
So,
yeah.
League of Legends has been around for years, and
Yeah.
its popularity, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, so what? League of Legends has been around since when? Like 2008, 9-ish,
I couldn't
I
look it
think.
up.
The kids at my school, oh my gosh, they're crazy about this game.
Really.
Um, And kids this age, this is how they become friends through playing games. This is how they socialize. So
Okay.
I'm very familiar with this culture, like sort of not because I play, but because people around me play. Um, yeah, so we're talking about the annual League of Legends World Championships, or simply Worlds, is going to be held in Seoul and Busan in October. Uh, League of Legends, the kids call it role or league. It's one of the most popular competitive multiplayer video gaming events in the world.
Mm.
And last year, the World Championship Finals was hosted by the US and Mexico. It was broadcast in 16 different languages on 21 different platforms, which attests to the popularity
Sure.
of the game all around the world. So Worlds 2023 is going to be held here in South Korea from October 10th to November 19th. And this year, a new game system is going to be introduced. A total of 22 teams will vie for the grand prize of the Summoners Cup. I won't get into details of the new game system, but if you're curious, you can go online. It's everywhere. So a total of 16 teams, two qualifying teams from the play-in stage, and 14 pre-qualified teams are going to join the newly introduced Swiss stage, which is apparently a non-eliminating tournament that offers a fixed number of matches, and that will allow the players to qualify for the next round by achieving a total of 3 victories.
To answer your previous question, it did debut in 2009, so it's been
Awesome.
around. South Korea has actually previously hosted two worlds, one in 2018 and one in 2014, so this is the third time around.
That's right. But also, South Korea hosted the mid-season
Ah,
Invitational 22 last year in Busan. And Worlds 2014 was the first time South Korea played host. And at the time, the finals between Samsung White and Starhorn Royal Club, they're currently called Royal Never Give Up, was held at Seoul World Cup Stadium. Fans at the time described the finals as an electrifying event, complete with a full set orchestra,
no.
live performance by the band Imagine Dragons.
Imagine that.
Yes, exactly. Imagine an arena packed with fans
Yeah.
of League of Legends, and the players are on the stage. There's live commentary. It's crazy.
And you're watching on this big screen together, cheering
That's
on for
right.
either or. That sounds really exciting.
Yes. So Naz Alutaha, who is the global head of League of Legends esports, said that Korea is synonymous with excellence in
Okay.
esports gaming, passionate community of fans, and a legacy of developing some of the world's most talented players. And South Korea is also considered to be the birthplace of esports and home of the League of Legends Champions Korea, which is the primary competition for League of Legends esports in South Korea.
Do you remember a time when esports got a cable channel and it was talked about in hushed
Yeah.
reverent tones if you wanted a career in esports? No, I mean, times have changed and perceptions have changed. We know that it's celebrated and it's a lucrative career if you excel at the highest
Mhm.
level. Now, the tournament is apparently starting later than usual this year. Do we know why?
Yes, that's because the postponed 2022 Asian Games is going to be held from September 23rd to October 8th in Hangzhou, China. Now, together with six other esports titles, League of Legends is going to be a medaled event for the first time in Asian Games history. The finals is going to take place on November 19th at the Kuchok Sky Dome in Seoul, which is the largest indoor venue in South Korea, and of course, home of the Seoul-based baseball team, Kyum Heroes.
We'll be talking about different heroes in the month of November for League of Legends followers. Are tickets going to be available for anyone to buy for it?
Oh, yes, of course. Tickets will officially go on sale in three stages. The play-in stage tickets will be available starting July 10th. The Swiss stage tickets will go on sale starting July 19th. And the knockout stage tickets will go on sale on August 2nd.
All right, so the LOL World Championship. I'm sorry, what are the kids calling it again? League?
Roll.
Roar. All righty.
Yeah.
Take your pick. The World Championships is set to take place from October, November this year. So pencil it in if this is your thing. Let's move on to our second buzzword of the day. I mean, home cooked meals or anything that resemble it. Well, it softens your heart, doesn't it? And apparently there's a higher demand for it. People want sort of this no frills, affordable, and just comfortable food.
That's right. These spots, they're all around the city, actually, if you go looking. The kitchen is helmed by an auntie or imu in Korean, or even grandmas. And they cook up these really comfortable, familiar, home cooked style meals for, customers. And back in the days, these eateries used to be frequented by maybe the older generation,
Mm.
looking for something tasty but affordable to eat, along with their drinks. But apparently these days, the MZ generation, they're going gaga over these local eateries. The thing is, if you're looking for fancy and like sort of like spotless hygiene, these local eateries are not what you're looking for
Mm.
typically.
Mm.
These are mom and pop stores,
Mm.
hole in the wall places,
Yep.
where the emos or grandmas, they serve up familiar eats, sort of reminiscent of your mom's home cooking meals, and they bring to the table a spread of whatever is available for that day. And these foods are usually prepared with what they have on hand in the kitchen or in their fridge, or basically just any seasonal ingredients they purchased at a local market early that morning.
I mean, it could be something that's the freshest or the most affordable, but I think, like you said, you leave it up to these mom and pop stores to decide
Yeah.
on the menu depending on what is more readily available, like you
Mhm.
said, already in the kitchen or at their local market. So technically, they wouldn't have anything fancy on the menu or this long list of we can do anything for you, but the menu's decided for you.
Yeah,
So what's typically on
exactly.
the menu then?
Well, they range from everything from, keramari or, the Korean style omelet to hamjeon, which is basically like sliced, luncheon meat, dipped in egg batter and then pan fried, and the instant jjajangmyeon noodles, 꼬막찜,
Ah.
depending on the season. 꼬막 are cockles basically, which are in season in the winter's time. 닭볶음탕, or the spicy braised chicken stew. So it can be anything really. The thing is, I've seen a lot of YouTube mukbangers visit establishments that basically look like local supermarkets, a local supermarket, but then there's a makeshift kitchen somewhere in the back. And there's a table and a chair, not too many, obviously, because these places are small.
Yeah.
And they order basic foodstuffs like, stuff that I mentioned earlier. And
Right.
the emos, they bring it to you, and you're sitting in what looks like a it's a tiny supermarket or
Yeah.
convenience store,
Yeah.
and you're eating and drinking and having a good old time with your friends.
I think it's about affordability, it's about accessibility, but it's
Yeah.
also about comfort food, as Koreans know it. I mean, it's technically meals that perhaps your mom or
Mhm.
any auntie figure in your life could have easily cooked up for you at home.
Yeah.
But well, mommies and aunties in my life are really busy and they can't offer me these home cooked meals. So
Right.
we go to a professional auntie who can, put up this entire table full of panchans and
Yeah.
comfort food at a fraction of a fine eatery.
Exactly. Some of these establishments, I mentioned the word spread before.
Yeah.
They bring you a whole spread, and you don't order this, that, that, that. They bring you whatever they have, and
Mm.
they charge you, I don't know, like for full spread, less than $30. Or if you go for the more expensive option, it's probably somewhere around $50 that you can share with a few other friends, which
Mm.
is really affordable, right?
Yep, yep.
Considering how expensive things can get here in Seoul. And these sort of eateries are becoming really hip because thanks to social media,
Mm.
a lot of these celebrity, YouTubers
Yeah.
visit these eateries, and even like proper celebrities, they go to these eateries, and everyone wants to go these days, apparently. Most of the
Because
customers are in their 20s and 30s these days.
And I think that's the biggest change that you alluded to, right? I mean, these eateries had always been available in different
Yes,
neighborhoods, but maybe it was frequented by a different demographic. Now it's to those in their 20s and 30s, and that's how you know a trend is really picking up and it's here for the long run.
that's right. Some of these joints also offer diners a rather unique experience, especially younger customers. They feel like they're traveling back in time to the 80s, perhaps, and 90s. They have retro signs and old wallpaper and, kitchenware. And I don't know, people are finding, local eateries like this new and fresh and something fun,
It's really interesting because I bet you the older generation was going for familiarity and the young generation is seeing a novelty in it because maybe they
Yes.
didn't live through times where they were just too young to remember. And so 80s and 90s considered retro. 90s is retro?
Yeah, go figure.
Go figure. All right, we'll leave it there for now. If you're in the city, I mean, this is a perfect time to check out these more affordable joints. So let's move on to our final buzzword of the day. So Don Lemon has been pretty synonymous with the network CNN, and he's been fired, and to which it seems the TV personality and anchor has issued a statement saying he's pretty shocked.
Yeah, so Don Lemon, he's been with CNN for 17 years. He's a news anchor. He was a news anchor at
Yeah.
CNN for, all these years. And he recently shared on Twitter that he had been informed by his agent that he was terminated from CNN.
Mm.
And he said that he was stunned. This is what he wrote. I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I have loved at the network.
Okay, so of course, there's a big discrepancy between what
Mhm.
CNN is saying and what the fired
Yes.
former CNN anchor Don Lemon is saying. Did CNN immediately comment on Don Lemon's Twitter remarks?
What CNN said was that Don Lemon's statement about the morning's events, the morning when he was fired, is inaccurate, that
Okay.
he had been, in fact, offered an opportunity to meet with management, but he instead released a statement on Twitter.
So back in February, Lemon was apparently rebuked by CNN chairman Chris Licht and was briefly taken off air over televised remarks he made about Nikki Haley. That's the former South Carolina governor who is now running for the Republican presidential nomination. So this conversation in itself on the morning news show, it became pretty heated and
Yeah.
some might take offense to what was said on air.
That's right. So he was addressing at the time Nikki
Mm.
Haley's call for mental competency tests for aging politicians. And at the time, he said Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. He said that a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s. And Nikki Haley is in her 50s. She's 51 years old. And
Mm.
after his remark was aired, the CNN,
Chairman,
head,
yeah.
yeah, chairman told the staffers that his remarks were upsetting, unacceptable, and unfair to his co-hosts.
And so the discrepancy continued. I mean, The thing is does this warrant his termination? I think that should be viewed separately from what was offensively said on air. But for now,
Yeah.
it seems CNN did have a final say and they
Yeah.
let Don Lemon go. That's not the end of the conversation, but we'll leave it there for now. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Erica. We appreciate
Pleasure.
it.
Have a good day.
See you tomorrow. If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.